Good morning, day 12, and I'm so tired. I haven't slept properly in days. And the hubby just left for work, and I'm about to start prepping for self-striping. I wasn't planning on dyeing self-striping this week, but I sold out rather quickly, so I'm all out of self-striping, all colorways. It takes a really long time to dye self-striping, so I'm doing self-striping today, and the absolute maximum of the number of skeins I can dye in one day if I dye self-striping is 6. That's it. And I think I can only do one day of self-striping this week, because I might go to the marketplace next week to sell yarn live, and I need to dye up some regular colorways for that. So one day this week I'm doing self-striping, and I'm starting my week with it. So while I'm waiting for the different colors to set, I can plan for the rest of the week properly. I decided to dye only one colorway today. I'm only dyeing Your Mean One self-striping. Even though all the other colorways are sold out as well, I'm not dyeing any more lock, shock and barrel because we're almost to the middle of October. So the only people that have any chance of getting lock, shock and barrel before Halloween are the domestic buyers. So I'm not dyeing any more Halloween yarn, I think. Because I have a strong feeling that people aren't interested in buying Halloween yarn they can't get until November. So no more Halloween yarn, but I'm dyeing up, as I said, I'm dyeing up You're a Mean One today. So sorry about the light changing. I'm trying to get used to this camera. Speaking of cameras, as you saw in last night's Vlogtober, we got some northern lights. Hubby came in and told me, Northern Lights, there's northern lights. I was editing Vlogtober at the time, so I just grabbed my mobile and went outstairs to film it. It was my first chance of testing my new camera phone on northern lights. As it turns out, I didn't capture anything, so I had to borrow my old phone. Fortunately, that's the one hubby uses, so it was easy to get hold of, because I knew my old phone could capture northern lights without me going through all the settings. And this phone, the Galaxy S20 Plus, has something called Pro Video Mode. So I suppose I have to do a little research, and probably when I finally find the right setting, the pictures will be better than on my old phone that only captured it in auto. But that means I have to take the time to learn how to use my new fancy mobile phone. So at some point I'm going to sit down and do some research. And the thing is, you don't know until you actually stand there filming it if the settings you've chosen are the right ones. So it has to be trial and error, I think. The still photographs I took of the northern lights last night was with my phone. And I didn't find, they weren't perfect either, but I wanted to show you some northern lights even though the pictures weren't all that good. Hopefully the next time I record some northern lights, they will look much better. It's another grey day today. It's raining, but the sky is blue from time to time. You can see patches of blue sky. So hopefully the weather will improve a little bit. I haven't been out for a run in days, partly because I haven't been feeling like it, to be honest with you. I'm having a rough spot. I sometimes have them. It normally takes a few days to get over it. I also have something else hanging over my head. The VAT ghost is hanging over my head. In Norway we have this rule: when you reach a certain profit, or if I sell, in my case, yarn for a certain amount for the last 12 months, it's not the last year, it's the last 12 months, so you have to keep track of it all the time. And as soon as I reach a certain amount, I have to start charging VAT. The good news for me is that the VAT I pay for now when I'm buying yarn and dye and stuff like that, all that VAT is held against the VAT I take in. And doing some calculations, if I pay more VAT than I charge, I actually get a refund. So that might be a good thing for me, because I don't sell, I think only about 20% of my yarn is sold in Norway. The rest is sold abroad, and I don't have to charge VAT on anything going abroad. So that's the good news. The bad news is my accounting will be much more complicated. So I'm actually going to my accountant next week for a crash course in how to set up accounts for VAT. So that's what I'm not looking forward to that. I think my accounting is complicated enough as it is, because I don't have the head for numbers. I'm not any good with anything that has to do with numbers. So thankfully I have an accounting system that actually makes it possible for me to use an accountant if I'm struggling. And my poor accountant gets a lot of questions all the time. And I don't know why I'm sitting here talking to you about accounting when I should be starting with my yarn dyeing. So maybe that's what I should do, and I'll record later today when I'm waiting for colors to set. And I hope that I might be able to do some dyeing on the side while I'm doing self-striping. I'll try to set up an extra hot plate or something, because I'm getting a bit fed up of doing self-striping the way I'm doing it. But that's the only way I can do it, because I need to invest in different equipment if I'm going to dye more self-striping. So self-striping it is today, first prepping, dyeing, and tomorrow I get the joyful task of winding up all the self-striping while I'm dyeing other colorways. So this week is going to be a dye. The rest of the week I'm going to dye, because this Friday no podcast, Sunday no update, so I can dye on Friday as well. So I better get started, and I'll talk to you later. Good evening. I'm so done for the day. I've dyed my self-striping today, and I actually went for a run, and it's about 6:30 p.m. and I think I'm about to edit this, because we're going to the post office later to pick up some undyed that arrived from England yesterday, and I'm going to pick it up at the post office. And after that I'm not planning on doing anything. And hubby is having a Zoom meeting in about 30 minutes, and I thought while he's doing that I might as well edit this the Vlogtober for today, because there's nothing much more happening today. So that's it for today. I hope you have a really nice evening, and I'll see you again tomorrow.